How's it going? Welcome to Transportoholics podcast with me, Al Brook, and this guy,
Olly Pickles.
No, mate, what's going on? I'm all right. We've got a nice mix pot this week. Mix pot. Everything seems to be happening.
It does. There's a lot going on this week. There's a lot going on.
It's all kicking off.
Including your background and my background.
My background is a clue for some stuff. Your background, you're transporting some. I don't know what you're transporting.
if you come on YouTube and see us, you'll know what we're on about.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we've got that YouTube thing now. Alex has finally pulled his weight.
Yeah, Alex has pulled it out of the bag.
He pulled his weight out of the bag. He should have pulled it out of the bag a while ago. So that's very conservative. By the way, you're going to hear my mic squeak because it's squeaky today. So enjoy that if you want to. Right, let's. Same as before. We're going to have like a first half with a couple of topics. The interlude where we just chat about anything, and the last part, which is a couple of other topics. But we've got some pretty. Look forward to stick around for the interlude part. Please do. And if you do, I'll maybe have a time code. Maybe I don't. We'll see what happens. All right. If you are watching it, by the way. So, without further ado, let's get moving. Right. Cool. So the first one is to do with full automated driving with Tesla. I don't know why I'm saying it so weirdly, but because the thing that Tesla are doing, they're thinking of doing a subscription to for their full autonomous vehicles, which was supposed to be. It was hinted last year. Do you remember? Did you see Elon's tweet on Twitter where it's like, "Oh, if you order now, the back end of the year, you will include a full automated package with your deal." Did you see that tweet?
No, I didn't. No.
Because some people, I don't know if you mentioned or somebody else did, that he did that to try push his numbers back up because I don't think, his sales up because I don't know if they hit their numbers. So he tried to push it further by adding this earlier feature, which didn't actually ship because later on he tweeted saying, okay, instead of end of 2020, it's going to be early 2021. And right now we're pretty much at the end of early 2021. We're now in the mid. Yeah. Well,
we're already third month in, aren't we?
Yeah, we're pushing to the next phase of 2021. But that's thinking it's going to be mid 2021 is when the autonomous package is going to be. But it's not cheap though. Guess how much it is? Guess how much it is
per month? $100 a month.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Is it?
Legit.
I just pulled that out of thin air.
But for that $100 though, I have to. How'd you get $100? What was your fair plays?
I just thought phone contracts. I thought, well, it's probably going to be a bit higher than they're paying for a phone a month, so I just went to 100.
You're crazy. That's what you are. You're crazy. What's included?
Oh God, sorry. Go on.
No,
I was going to say, don't you think the monthly contract thing? It's very, very 21st century, isn't it? Like having a contract.
That said,
subscription. That's what I mean. A subscription.
A subscription. That said, Elon has been saying that he said quite a lot. Even though there is a subscription available, you'll find it more viable in the long term if you just buy it outright.
Oh, they're offering that as well.
Yeah, but the outright one is, well, see how good your guessing is. 2 for 2. Let's go. How much do you think it is outright? Shall I tell you what's included?
Go
on. All right, so what's included is navigate on autopilot. You've got auto lane change, auto park, summon, full self-driving computer, and traffic light and stop sign control. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you can have green light all the way or something? Or what does that mean?
Okay.
So with all those included, how much do you think that is full price?
$5,000.
$5,000? No, it's $1,500. No, it's not. You're actually way off.
Oh,
go higher.
$10,000.
$10,000, mate. That's how much it costs. Buy it outright.
Wow.
$10,000.
Wow. What's that then? So it's $100. It's $100 a month. So that's 12. So you'd be paying $1,200. You'd be $1,200 a year. If you did that for 10 years, that would be 12,000. So it's about eight-ish years, something like that. It's gonna if you paid it on the subscription.
Yes. Oh my goodness! I've just realised
to get to the same point instead of buying it outright.
Some quick maths there, mate. Quick maths. But that means the overall value of Tesla is also going up with it. So does that make it more? Does that balance out, or does that still make it?
What do you mean
unbalanced? Because right now you've got Tesla with some autopilot features, but for the most part it's just an electric vehicle. But when you have the added fully autonomous features that it has, plus the old features that it had, won't that just add to the overall value, meaning that the price is now justified?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, I guess one thing observation I have is once you pay for that, if I bought if you go and buy it outright, the auto or full auto package, then is it only valid on that car, or is it valid on any Tesla you have? If I've got 3 Teslas, do I have to buy it for every Tesla or not? Because if I've got more than one Tesla, then I definitely think about buying it outright. And especially, what about if I've got Tesla for 2 years and then I want a new Tesla? Do I have to buy the package again then?
Oof, I would imagine, because I like you said, if it was like phone contracts, you would. Like when you buy the phone, you have to pay the contract until you pay it. Until you upgrade, and then you have to. Then it's a new contract, or you've got multiple ones on the go. That's how I would imagine it would be. But I don't know if anyone is listening. Would you or would you not? Would you pay for the full price, or would you go for the per month one? I'll give the question to you first. What do you reckon? What would you do if you could? Obviously,
if I could, I think I would buy it outright.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because it's done. Just because it's done, then. on the assumption that I've got it for life. Then that's the assumption.
Yes. Yeah.
So like, I paid for it now. Now I can have it on whatever Tesla I want for forever. Final point on this one. Would you trust the Tesla? Would you do it? Do you want to have a
go? I would trust it only because they have because their system seems to be way more robust than other ones. And they've been trying it out for years now. So theirs, compared to other competitors which are saying this sort of stuff, seems to be way more sound and more advanced. So yeah, I would trust it, but I would trust it. I reckon.
I'd be curious to give it a go. I don't know much about other competitors, to be honest. I don't know who's making self-driving cars.
Who is making these things
besides Tesla? There is I can't remember. There's like one main competitor. I've forgotten what they're called, though. I don't know if you know.
Waymo.
There's one. Pardon?
Waymo.
No, I'm thinking of somebody else then. But
is it a car one, or is it a self-automatic?
It's a car. Yeah, it's a car one. Self-driving cars. They're not like one of your like traditional brands. It's not like a Ford or Audi or somebody. It's a new brand.
It's not a Rivian one, is it?
Rivian, that might be it. That rings a bell.
But I don't know if they're doing full autonomy. I think they're just doing electric vehicles, right?
Oh, okay.
But maybe I could be wrong about that. But if I was to link on to the next one, because Tesla, they are looking to change but add to their business model, where I think we talked about it earlier on, where remember the parked cars in car parks, if you were to go on holiday, and instead of leaving it, in the car park doing nothing, it can then turn into, a taxi. Tesla looking to do that with this autonomous, full autonomous feature. So then they can have a fleet to be deployed within cities, so it can just, do whatever they do. So I guess it's a ride-hailing thing, and that kind of links on with this weird story called Schroeder's Global Cities Index. Right. And they've added a transport element to it, whereby before the index included economic, environmental, and innovation, but now they've added a transport element. So it pretty much takes into account, how effective how easy is it to get around the city? What initiatives are being done to make the city, both economic and environmental, all these things to enhance both people live in it, visit it, and commute throughout it. what opportunities are available, all that kind of gubbins, right?
Yeah.
So you got a list of all cities that were in it before the transport elements were included.
Yeah.
But just off the top of your head, in terms of what kind of cities do you think would go to the top of the list when you come to your mind that will go to the top when it comes to the most economic, environmental, innovative, and very well connected with the transport?
All right, so economic and environmental. I think Singapore's really would be a really good candidate for that. I think it's really I think it's a really compact city as well. So I would think Singapore would have a really good transport system. I've never been personally, but that's just an assumption.
Okay.
Where else has got a good transport system? I've been to Berlin. That was really good. The trains there are incredible.
Ooh, interesting.
And what else? London. There's a lot of transport in London. You've got the overground and underground rail networks. Buses. Yeah.
But who do you think is in the top 5 though? Who do you think? Well, top 3, top 5. Who do you think is in the top 5 for this year? Well, no, sorry, for 2020. Who do you think did it?
All those things.
Yeah, of all the cities that you're aware of, that in terms of their infrastructure and opportunities, all that stuff. Who do you think is like the cream of the crop, bro?
All right,
let's go.
All right, I'm gonna put London. I'm gonna put London in there. Singapore, like I said, I'm gonna go.
All right,
London, Singapore, Berlin. I'm gonna put environmental. I know Tokyo's got a really good transport system, but I don't know if it's that good. That the environment's that good there or not. American cities, I think they're generally the density of them's really low, so I wouldn't say they're as good transport wise. Is what I'm kind of feel like. Los Angeles, for example, it's like Carmageddon over there. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, so London, Singapore, Berlin. I'll do Tokyo, and
putting Tokyo in there.
I'm gonna put Tokyo and South Korea in there.
All right, then. Right. What do you reckon?
Tell me how wrong I am.
Here we bloody go. Here we bloody go. All right. So we got number 1 is London.
Oh, I got one.
You got one there, which is pretty good. You got one there. Then number 2. Number 2 is you did get the America part, which is good. San Francisco.
I thought America would be bad. Okay.
I thought that was weird as well.
Trams, doesn't it? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know it has trams. That's about it.
Number 3 was.
Well, this is for everything, not just transport, isn't it? So.
Yeah, but the reason that they stayed at top is because of the transport.
Right. Yeah. Transport's been added into it.
It's been added into it, and I'll show you how it's changed a lot.
Okay.
So number 3 is Boston. Number 4 is Paris, and number 5 is New York. Obviously, Boston, New York.
I was completely wrong then because
you weren't far off.
3 out of the top 5 are in America.
you weren't far off because in 2019 that was before they added the transport part. Right. So in 2019, the top one was actually at Los Angeles. So you were right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, did he say Los Angeles? Oh, you didn't say Los Angeles.
I did. I said Los Angeles would be bad, is what I said because.
Oh, would be bad. Okay.
I said it'd be bad because of transport. Yeah.
But they used to be number 1, then they got dropped down. But you said Singapore. Singapore's actually where is Singapore? Singapore's number 13. No, it's number 11.
Okay, not bad.
So you weren't far off with that one. Berlin isn't actually on the list.
Oh, come on, Berlin.
No, wait, what are you doing, Berlin? Step it up. And then you had Tokyo. Tokyo is, in fact... I
was going to say Seoul in South Korea.
That's not on the list. And South Korea is... Seoul, sorry.
No, it's not there.
That's not there either. Oh, sorry, dude. All you had was... you just had London, mate. But it's all right. You got the top spot.
I'll take it.
You got the top spot. So I just found that really interesting, the kind of elements that were added in it. But in terms of transport, what accounts to it said it here. Where did it say it? Okay, cool. The transport score analyzes data of 5 transport modes: sea, road, train, bus, and air. So if you've got good connectivity with those areas, then you're gonna be higher up. And it says here that The city lacks. Wait, hang on. Said in terms of LA, the reason that they dropped down from number 1 to number, what was it, 14 or something?
Yeah.
Was it 14? Yeah,
It
14.
must be because of the congestion.
Yeah, pretty much. He said LA performed particularly bad due to the low score of access to rail, a key transport mode for the index. The city lacks a comprehensive rail network, and the average walk time to a rail terminal in the city is 61 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So far away.
Wow, that is so far away.
Far away. For
no wonder everyone gets in their car. No one's going to be walking that, are they?
Exactly. But anyways, I found that you did pretty well. You did. I'm proud of you. Hey,
I'll take that. Hey, I'm surprised London's so high up, but I suppose it's not just transport, is it? It's everything. Oh.
But apparently London's got quite a lot of good green areas and everything like that, and it's got a lot of job opportunities. Manchester's on the list as well.
Anywhere else?
So that's pretty cool. Just Manchester.
Okay.
Manchester, and I was actually looking for Blackpool. Hopefully Blackpool's
Blackpool.
There's no Blackpool. I'm like, where's Blackpool? Where's Blackpool?
Do the Pepsi Max not count as transport?
You know what I mean? I don't. What's wrong with that? I was looking for Blackpool and Surrey, and for some reason they're lacking. I don't know why.
Shocking.
Anyways, so to keep it, I was going to say keep it on the transport area. This is a transport podcast, apparently. I don't know.
Apparently.
Word on the street. We're going to go over to in terms of travel. Which do you think is it air travel or is it train travel? Is this one train?
I think it's train.
Yeah, so here are the countries with the least and most expensive train travel. So right off the bat, who do you think is topping the spot with the most and the least expensive? Most and least expensive.
Oh, wow. Most expensive. Expensive in terms of what? Like absolute price?
In terms of the price. So this is so I'll give you a little synopsis. Well, just a little synopsis. Here we go. Are you ready? Okay, cool. So transport focused. Hang on. So the company is called Fleet Logging. Right. It came up with a transport price index by calculating the average cost of domestic flights, train trips, bus rides, in scores of nations So domestic flights, train trips, and bus rides in scores of nations using popular travel websites such as Skyscanner. So they use that kind of provider as their basis.
Yeah.
And then in the case of plane tickets, researchers considered flights between each country's first and second most popular cities. Rail and bus routes were selected for destinations 100 kilometers or 62 miles from each country's capital city. So it's the price between I guess 100 kilometer distance and both flying and both plane, train, and automobile, I guess.
All right. Most expensive.
Base. Yeah, per 100 kilometers.
All right.
So,
okay.
If you were to go a sizable distance, which do you think would cost the most to go the furthest?
Okay, I'm just gonna go based off what I know generally about where's like the most expensive places to live. I'm gonna say Switzerland is the most expensive because it's really expensive to live there, but it's also you get paid a lot, but the price of everything is really expensive. I think I saw once Switzerland, fun fact, is there's a study comparing the price of a Big Mac in every different country, and then Switzerland was the number one.
Nice.
Most expensive.
For the most expensive?
Yeah, most expensive Big Mac.
I'll pack it as before I go.
I think the cheapest. I think if you want the cheapest Big Mac, you've got to go somewhere like Ukraine.
Really?
Yeah. All right. And for going back to the transport and the rail, I'm going to say Vietnam because when I went,
you love Vietnam. You're just obsessed with Vietnam. You love Vietnam. You're going to have Vietnam tattooed on your neck. It's bloody Vietnam.
That's all right. I'd be somewhere like that. Maybe somewhere in Southeast Asia or Africa. Yeah, I'll just go to Vietnam.
Right, are you ready to get blown away by this?
Go on.
I saw this and I was like, what's going on? Right, so you want most or least first?
Yeah, we'll go most.
All right, most is Denmark. Right, wow. Most is Denmark, and that's $108. All this is calculated in dollars, by the way.
Yeah,
because it's just a lot easier. $180.85. And then the least is Russia with $4.23. But to make it more weird, within the most expensive bracket, majoritively they're African countries. So, well, no, not majoritively, but there's a lot of African nations. So you got Rwanda is an expensive one. That's $103.89.
Wow.
Uganda, that threw me off my chair. I had to get
What?
CPR after that. Uganda was $96.78. Estonia, that's a fair enough, $152.69. And then Nicaragua, I believe, $92.73. And then the least expensive, bloody Norway. Norway, mate. Norway's $6.52. You got a place like Belgium, which I would have thought would be most expensive.
This blows me away,
$5.73. Iran is understandable, $4.83. And Ireland, I would have thought Ireland would be up there as well with $5.86.
This is ridiculous. But
yeah, exactly.
But Denmark's one of the most expensive, and that's
one of the most expensive. Yeah,
you hop across the border almost, and you're in Belgium, and then it's really cheap again.
Really cheap. Yep. What's even cooler?
Estonia has a border with Russia.
Losing your mind.
Estonia is right next to Russia, though, and how can it be so expensive in Estonia, and then you hop across to Russia and it's dirt cheap,
and that's it. Yeah.
Wow. Maybe they've just got. Maybe it's just the. Maybe it's partly because I don't know, they subsidise it, so they make it a lot cheaper. Was this specifically talking about rail?
Oh no, this is a combination of.
No, this is plane prices. We're on.
No, okay. Plane prices. We're on plane prices. I should have probably said. Caveat
that now. We're looking at plane prices.
I will let you know that plane prices. Okay. I don't know where to point. Where's the camera? I don't know where to point.
That's interesting. I think part of the reason for the plane prices then would be different. It'll be the tax that the countries put on it. You know, you have a so I can't remember what it's called in this country. There's like a flying tax. So if you fly anywhere, you have to pay so much.
Air tax, isn't it?
Air tax. So if you fly, there's like a flat rate that you pay on that ticket. It might be different between long haul and short haul, actually, but so that might be why.
But isn't it? I found it weird as well with Luxembourg. As of this year, was it this year? They've made public transport free.
Really? What?
I'm like, let's all go bloody Luxembourg.
Luxembourg's that one between France and Germany, isn't it?
That's the one, yeah.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the highest rail rates, though, I've just seen it here. You got Peru. Peru is one of the highest with 69.14.
Is this on the same article, by the way?
Yeah, boy, boy. And then followed by UA. So UA? No, USA with $60. So Peru is top on the top spot, and then followed by the USA states. And then after that, way lower is where you would normally see is the Madagascar, Mozambique.
Oh, here we go. This makes more sense now.
Do you know what I mean?
So the rail is cheaper in Africa. So where's the cheapest then? It's
what I've seen here is Egypt with $1.04.
$1.04 to go. How far?
This is all 100 kilometers. Yeah.
Wow.
Per 100 kilometers. But yeah, some weird ass prices for you there. If you want to fly, make sure you go into Russia.
Wow.
And if you're going by train, go via Africa, I guess. I don't know. Depends where you're off.
We may as well do this article justice and do the most expensive bus routes. Buses as well. All right.
We've got some bus routes.
Yeah, there's the bus the bottom. Oh, don't look at it. I'll ask you.
Oh. Okay.
Come on then. Right. Where do you think is the most expensive for the bus?
Oh man.
Which country?
Most expensive bus routes.
I'll give you a clue. It's in Europe.
It's in Germany?
No. Tiny country.
Tiny country. I'm really bad at geography. I was going to say Spain then, but I'm like, pretty sure Spain isn't tiny, but...
It's smaller than Spain.
It's not Luxembourg, is it?
No, it's not. But that's good guess. Good guess.
Oh, is it Amsterdam or something? Is it somewhere near there?
No.
Is Amsterdam? That's a city, isn't it?
No, Amsterdam's a city as well.
Yeah.
I'll put you out of your misery.
Please.
It's Malta, and it's
Malta.
$50.46 per 100 kilometers, and then it's followed by North America with the US at $47.94 and Canada at $44.27.
Jeepers! I will ask whoever is listening, and because I've seen some international people on there. Is it expensive? Is your public transport expensive, or is it dirt cheap? That's my question.
Let us know.
Let us know at Transportoholics, Twitter or Instagram, or in the comments. Let us know. Let me know now. Right, wow. Cool. So I think we'll pause for a second with a central interlude because we've got some things to get off our chest.
We do.
First of all, let's address the elephant in the room about the interview that's been going on between our royalty. What's been kicking off all? What's been kicking off?
Yeah, it's been going on for a while now, hasn't it? Harry and Meghan they stepped back as senior royals in Jan 2020 because of harassment that Meghan's been getting in the press. I think they wanted to take a less senior role. So then they moved to Canada, and then just before lockdown they moved to California because of Harry's security being pulled. And then I'm just repeating what I listened to on the explosive interview that they did with Oprah yesterday. What did you think of the glasses she was wearing, by the way?
I did actually watch it. I saw pictures. You said those really bold stuff she had there.
Yeah.
Because when you first said that, I was like, what do you mean, glasses? Right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy. What?
You said took away the security. They moved to LA because I literally know nothing. All I know is the small, tiny details.
No, so they're falling out with the palace. So a lot's gone on. I can't explain it all. What the main details? Well, Meghan was feeling suicidal, but she wasn't really getting help. She told because in the palace you have to turn to someone who works for them and say, "Oh," she said to one of them that she's having dark thoughts and I needed help. But the palace, someone who worked for the palace said, "Oh, you can't get your help even if we wanted to because because it looked bad on the palace, and two, because you're not paid employee." So she went to the HR, and that's the response she got.
Right. That's so weird.
And then the thing about so they stepped back from the royal family, and then they're leaving the royal family, and because of their change in status, they're not being royals anymore. The palace withdrew their security, which, in my opinion, is really bad, especially with the safety of Harry, Meghan's child Archie. So Harry basically said to the palace, has the security threat changed to us? And they said no, but they still withdrew the security. So it's mad. So then Harry and Meghan have been getting this whole bashing for they've been signing these deals with Netflix and that. But what would you do in that situation?
Yeah, you gotta tell someone. Tell everyone.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, haven't you, to earn some money as well?
100. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not like they're out of pocket, but to keep the cash flow that they're used to going,
you
got to do these things.
What they said it was to get the security initially, but yeah, they're definitely.
Oh, is that why they did it?
They're definitely all right now, though. Put it that way.
Yeah, well, 100%. I wonder how much they. Wait, so hang on. Was this aired somewhere, or was this on normal TV?
It was on CBS, and then they put it on ITV ITV showed it last night. ITV.
Well, they must be getting some bank though. They've got to be getting some bank for this. Surely.
I think she said that they didn't get paid for that. It said at the start that she wasn't getting paid to do it.
Really?
But they've got a deal with Spotify, I believe. They've got a deal with Netflix. I think Harry's doing something with Apple. Megan's done a couple of things with Disney. So
I saw Paramount Plus as well.
Oh, really?
Got something with them, which is weird. But
yeah.
What about? Did you see the Piers Morgan thing?
Oh my
Piers
God!
Morgan kicking off. It's so good now. Finally, it's not really his comeuppance, but he gets some form of backlash finally.
Yeah, I just don't understand why he's got such a beef with Meghan. It's like he's just obsessed with her. I follow this political satire account on Twitter. I don't know if you've heard of him. It's called Cold War Steve.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. He makes these funny pictures. Like he'll use like an old background from like the 1800s or something, but then he'll like superimpose like the faces of like politicians and people on it. And he does really good ones of like Piers Morgan like obsessing over Meghan Markle and stuff. They're brilliant.
I want to see.
You need to have a look. You need to have a look.
I'm searching now. What was it called again?
It's called Cold War Steve.
Cold War Steve.
Cold War Steve.
Donkey Dog.
If you've not seen them, I really suggest having a look. They're brilliant. He looks at if you're in the UK, he looks a lot at UK politics and what's going on, and basically takes the mick out of Boris Johnson a lot. Piers Morgan gets a good amount of stick.
A lot of stuff.
You've seen any of them?
Yeah, I can see one of them with Piers Morgan running across the television centre courtyard. Literally no clothes. And in the corner, you got Boris Johnson bathing inside of a fridge or something. Is that a fridge? That is actually a fridge. He's just bathing in the fridge naked.
A lot of good ones of Trump as well.
He's just like streaking across the. Oh, that's so funny. That's so good. I will be following that as of today. Where's the follow button?
I think they're on Twitter, aren't they? That's where you find them.
Oh, that's so good. That is amazing.
Nothing to do with transport, but just really funny.
That's all right. That's the awesome part of the interlude. It can be anything.
Exactly.
It could be anything. But yeah, I was super stoked when Alex. I forgot his last name, but Alex was
Reynolds.
What was his
Reynolds?
Alex
Chamberlain. I forget. Alex something.
I what don't know. Get away.
I can't remember what it is. Alex. Oh, whoa! Breaking news. Piers Morgan is to leave Good Morning Britain following the Meghan interview TV comments.
Well, to be fair,
this has just come up on BBC News.
Really?
Yeah.
So, good.
Yeah, that is good. He took it too far.
It's about time.
We're recording
what did he say yesterday? What did he say? I didn't hear
Tuesday, and this was yesterday. And he exploded, and so they were going through the interview, playing bits of Meghan and Harry, and Meghan said that, and it got to this point where Meghan had said that she'd been to the palace and said that she was having suicidal thoughts, and that the palace said no, you can't see anyone because it'll look bad for the palace, and this PR person for the palace had said that she can't because she's not a paid employee. And Piers Morgan basically said that she was lying and said that she'd made up that she'd had suicidal thoughts, and that's really bad. That's really bad. Because Meghan probably won't even give a shit what Piers Morgan says. She's probably not heard that. Second, anyone else who's watching that and who has had suicidal thoughts is going to think, wow, what am I supposed to do now? Are people not going to believe me? And if you do feel like that, you've got to see someone and tell someone. Yes, straight away. You can't think like that. It's such a backwards mindset. You need to. It's just a problem. Was it? What's this proverb? Problem talked about. Problem. I can't even think what it is. Problem shared. Problem solved. That's it.
There we go. Oh, you got it, mate.
Finally,
you got it, mate. You got
it. Yeah.
It's true though, man.
I quite liked Piers Morgan's coverage of Brexit of COVID. He was good at holding politicians to account. I liked that about him, but yesterday he took it too far.
Did you see him? Because I looked at another interview with what's the guy called, man? I need to know.
I think it's
Piers and Alex.
Piers and Alex. I think it was
Alex Beresford.
Beresford, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Alex Beresford. Alex Reynolds I think is a guy that we know from college or uni or something.
Okay, right. Well, Alex Beresford.
Yeah, and Alex Beresford, because that's not his first row that they've had.
Yeah, it's not, is it?
I saw the other one where, because is he the weather guy for Good Morning Britain?
He's the second weather guy. It's a weather woman that does it most of the time.
All right, so the weather person here, Alex, he was anyways. He got the video that I saw, I guess it was from either a year ago, a couple of years ago, I don't know what. He was getting roasted by Piers Morgan saying, "What's your job? What do you actually do?" This is live on air saying, "What do you actually do here?" So Alex is just there at his desk getting ready to do the weather. And he's like, Piers is like, "We don't even need you here. All you're going to say is it's sunny outside. We could literally say it ourselves and then just continue. You're just sat there yawning. There's no point in you being here." So then he was listening to this, and his co-stars, the other two ladies, they're all laughing at him, and he was like saying, "Oh, look at you! Isn't that for what do you actually? Is it sunny outside?" And then was it? And they're like, so they're all roasting Alex. So Alex just got up and just walked out. He was like, "Yeah, thanks." He just burst the doors through and just walked out. Wow. I'm like, to be fair, I don't even know why he'd still be in. He's still here though. He's still in the. Working for Good Morning Britain. I don't know how the heck he could stay there, because I would have gone like a flash. I would have been like, I'm not taking your crap. What are you doing about? So fair play to him for not only getting his own back, but in a fair way. If you know what I mean.
No, I saw it this morning. It was good.
It was insane. I was gonna say it was beautiful. It was indeed beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, it was poetry. That was my awful Irish accent. Sometimes I'm actually quite good at it. Right, I've got a different one for you, which is completely out of this atmosphere, right? And it's coming. When I saw it, I was like, as if. I think already. This is a hotel. They are doing a hotel in space.
Right.
They're constructing it. They're constructing it out in outer space, and the construction starts in 2026.
No,
and it's going to be a 280-person centrifuge construction, and it's going to have artificial gravity on it, and it's going to have
what?
Yeah.
How can you make artificial gravity? I thought that's not even a thing. Is it by spinning?
Through centrifuge, through spinning. Yeah. But even that's still crazy, because even the ISS doesn't use any kind of anti-gravity. I know it's like because of the way it's built, but it would be very good if they could add that, because they could do different kinds of research that they can stand up. But so it's like a 280-person hotel. It's got a sports facilities, it's got a restaurant, it's got cinema, it's got all those kind of things. But guess how much it costs? How much is it going to cost it to go on there? How much? How much?
Oh my god. 50 grand. Wait, for how
50
long?
grand.
How long? For how long?
3 days.
Yeah, go on, 50 grand. 250.
Higher.
500,000.
Higher.
1 million.
Higher.
2 mil.
Go up. Keep going.
5 mil.
5 million for 3 day stay on this hotel.
You are joking.
It's absolutely nuts. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Going back to the centrifugal force.
Yes. Yeah.
How many RPM does that have to do to imitate Earth's gravity? And secondly, if you looked out of the window, you'd be spinning that fast that it just make you want to throw up.
Well, if the structure's big enough, the effects won't be as extreme.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
As if because it's kind of like I guess is it like if you know that science experiment where
You
if
make
you
the
stick
piece
your
of
arms
string
out,
longer and
yeah, that kind of thing. Wait, what? Hang on, what's yours? Piece of string longer? What's that?
it's like, so if you have a piece of string, it's not very long, and you've got like a rock attached to the end of it, and your piece of string is really small, you have to spin it really quickly, don't you, to keep the rock spinning.
Yeah.
But then if you make the string twice, 3 times, 4 times as long, you don't have to spin it as quickly for it to keep going round in a loop.
Yes, literally similar thing to that.
Yeah.
Similar thing to that. And plus, in terms of how fast it goes, I want to say it's like having your arms stuck out and then you bring them in. I don't know, but I think that's a different one. Your string one's better because in terms of the speed. But yeah, it's not as bad. Hang on, I want to see how fast you have to go in terms of artificial. So for a centrifuge to have artificial gravity. Boom. Here we go. It is. Can spinning yep. How fast? How fast, Neil? Give me a pass. But I thought I can't find the number right now.
It's all right.
But
we'll get that back
it'll be.
Wow.
Yeah. I just thought it was insane though. 5 million for a round trip, and you'd have to do training as well before you even go up there.
Really?
So you have to do training with the people, and they'll be going up there using the SpaceX shuttles.
What company is it that's doing it, by the way?
Oh, it is Orbital Assembly Corporation. There, and it's made up by ex-NASA veterans apparently.
Okay.
And so it's absolutely nuts. So yeah, the construction on the Voyager station.
Damn. Oh, I had another question. Oh no, I had a point. Here we go. Have you seen the Japanese billionaire who's going to orbit the moon in the SpaceX rocket? He's bought every seat on the rocket, and there's him, and there's about 9 more seats on there, and you can apply to go with him.
Can you? I thought it had a set list because he wanted artists, producers.
No, so you can say who you want, as long as you like fulfill the brief or something of what you want. You can apply.
You can go on.
Yeah.
Jeepers. Oh, is that for free as well? Will he pay for it?
Yeah, that's free. Yeah. He's paid for all the seats.
Would you apply?
I think I had a look at it. I'd apply. Yeah, I would apply. I would apply, but I don't know if I'm eligible or not.
But if you were, I don't even know how long the trip is. It'll be cool to know how long it is because I bet it's going to be like
only a few days to the moon.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I had in my head like weeks and weeks. I don't know why, but there we go.
Maybe it is 3 weeks. And how long?
I doubt it. I think it's more like yours. But yeah, set to opening. I just thought it was a little bit weird because the construction is in 2026 and then it's open in 2027. Yeah. That's a year.
Well, that is. When is it? 3 days to get to the moon, by the way.
3 days. Okay, if it's moon and back, it's a week then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's just under a week.
They're not stopping, are they?
No, they're using they're using the moon's gravity to slingshot them back.
Slingshot, yeah. Oh, so sick. It's crazy because the guy who's doing this, he's like saying, it says here, we're trying to make the public realize that this is we're trying to make the public realize that this golden age of space travel is just around the corner. It's coming fast. And that's by John Blinkow.
I suppose, yeah, you can pay for the 3-day trip. What is it? $5 million. $5 million, is it? And it'll only come down in price eventually.
Yeah, but good luck to all those other people. Next meme. Apparently, I'm just joking. I don't want to do that. All right, cool. I guess that's our interlude done. It was good stuff.
That was a good interlude. Right.
Well,
all right.
All right.
Why? Right. It brings back to more local now. I got a local thing for you. This is Clean Air Plan in Leeds, right? And they scrapped it this year, and I wonder if you've got any idea why. Before I explain to you.
Is it too expensive? Oh wait, no. It's either too expensive or there's too many nodes involved.
It's a much delayed £29 million clean air scheme.
29 million?
29 million.
What is this?
£6 million of cameras had already been installed. Around 300 cameras on more than 100 junctions, and they scrapped it.
Just like that? Wait, so were those... I wonder if those cameras were even operational, if they just installed them and just left them there.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a second use they can reuse them. I'm sure there must be, otherwise it sounds like a big waste. But have you got any idea why they scrapped it?
Zero clue. Absolutely zero.
So the idea was that, they're going to make the area around Leeds clean air zone, which would mean that lorries, mainly targeting like commercial businesses, lorries and the like, would have to be a certain level of like the cleanliness with the vehicle. Like it'd have to meet certain emissions standards, so the older ones wouldn't be able to come through. Otherwise, you get a fine, I think. And they scrapped it because, well, it was supposed to get implemented in about 2018. Then it got pushed back to a couple of years, and they were going to finally implement it just before COVID hit, and then COVID hit, and they scrapped it.
So it's because of COVID?
Well, no, but I think it's partly because of COVID. But no, the main reason is because the vehicle fleets change. So the vehicle fleet between 2018 and 2020 has changed because businesses upgrade their vehicles, so they naturally have got more green for the vehicles. So the clean air zone became redundant. They didn't need it because the vehicles had already got cleaner. Because the clean air zone plan had got delayed so long, the vehicle fleet around Leeds had already got cleaner, so they just didn't need the plan anymore.
That's insane. I guess that's a good thing, but
I think it's tinted with that they scrapped it because of COVID as well, and they didn't want to affect the small amount of businesses that were left with the dirtier, polluting vehicles, because then that would financially hurt them even more.
That's still crazy. Does that money get recycled or something then? What happens to the money?
What would happen
That's
to
what
the
I
money?
want to know. Yeah, I'll be knocking on the council's door saying, "Are you going to be redistributing that or what?"
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they use it for. Hopefully, like other transport schemes, I guess. But I don't know.
£6 million on cameras, though.
I know.
Just buy one. Just buy one.
Just buy
One's
one.
enough. just get a guy walking around Leeds. One camera. £2. I should be their financial advisor. Get me on the board right now. But that's crazy, though. I didn't think it was because.
And they got another thing about
cameras. That's a good thing,
as well.
That's a good thing. Overall, it's a good thing.
Just while I'm at it,
go on. We got.
I saw they've developed cameras now to pick up litter, and litter gets on my nerves so much. Honestly, if you're on the motorway or anywhere, on the motorway on busy roads, you just see streams and streams of litter down either side of the road.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
It's cool.
So bad.
It's awesome.
Gets on my pip. Anyway, they do like these.
You just had a moment of like self-reflection, and you're like, dear me.
They've developed these cameras that now will spot if you wind down your window. And if you had your McDonald's, chuck out your McDonald's, it'll see that. If you've had a fag, it'll even pick up the cigarette butt that you throw out of your window.
Gee. Oh, did you see this on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I saw it somewhere. I think it was LinkedIn. And they're trialing it down in Surrey or somewhere now, or Kent.
Good old Surrey. Surrey. Finally, Surrey's getting something.
Yeah. Don't
you find it weird though? Like the kind of items that you just see on the banks, you're like, but how? We're in the middle of nowhere.
Honestly, it's like, shocking.
Because you have to think they had to drive all the way out there with this thing in the back, and they thought, this is a good spot. Put it here. And they just Kathy, get your bag. Put it here. And then they just emptied a trolley. I don't know how they got the trolley in there. It's like a trolley's in the middle of the Sahara. Who took the trolley to the Sahara?
Oh, wow. The places you'll find Tesco trolleys. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's so weird. But I want to one day see the person in transit with that trolley. And I bet
Are
I bet
they
it's actually
in the
Frodo.
trolley? Are they at the back of it? Is there more than one person? What's the
We've got to find out. If you do want to, have you seen anybody? If you have, please let us know. If you, any stories, if you've seen anybody,
send a picture in for us.
Yeah, any cool fly tipping stories, because it's just so weird. Yeah. It's got to be like Frodo Baggins or something, because that's the only person that will travel that far with such a random item. Like everyone else will be like, no.
I reckon what we got next? People as well.
Yeah, with the trolley though. Oh, man, yeah, it's
definitely a drunk thing. What we got next? Right, we've got sort of clean flying. And what I mean by sort of
clean flying.
Clean flying, yeah. You
got me baffled, bro.
Clean, do you? Yeah. So
I don't.
It's sort of clean because the powers that be got together and discussed potential. They discussed potential suitable sources of fuel for aircrafts in the future, and they came up with a synthetic kerosene. And what that means, and what they did was they came up with this fuel and they flew, and they used 500 liters of it to fly a Boeing 737 from Amsterdam to Madrid. And what it is it's based on CO2, water, and renewable energy that's all been sourced in the Netherlands. But there's one caveat: the CO2 that they got was from fossil fuels, so you can't say that the synthetic kerosene that they made is 100% renewable because they got the CO2 from non-renewables. But it's a step in the right direction, nonetheless.
So it's not a wait. Is that what would you say? Oh, so it's not carbon neutral yet.
No.
Okay. Right. Okay. Cool. It's still a strange. I think it's a good step forward, though, even if it isn't like a.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's a good step forward because if the CO2 is already there, like it says they can get the CO2 from fossil fuel industry, or they can get it straight out. I think it says they can get it out of the atmosphere. Yeah, and they can get it out of the atmosphere. So if you can get it. If you get it from the fossil fuels that have been burned, then why not make a more efficient use of it? If a fossil fuel is going to get burnt anyway, then you may as well use the CO2 as a byproduct.
Yeah.
Instead of
that kind of
instead of just using the normal kerosene that you were going to anyway, because then that'd be even more polluting. Until they can find a new source of energy, which links on to what I was learning about today. We were learning about
connectivity.
Connectivity, indeed. We've been learning about transport and energy sources and petrol. So the reason the petrol and diesel have been so successful is because of how light and dense the energy is. So you get your petrol, the molecules of petrol are so dense with energy to the weight so that like. For example, like 1 gram of petrol has that much energy in it. Is why it's such a good source. So you can like the tank of a petrol or a car is not very big, is it? And you can go quite far.
Yeah.
In comparison, a battery for that same amount of energy, the battery's huge. They're huge at the moment. It's hopeful in the future that they're going to get smaller, but at the moment they're just huge. And that's why
the ratio is terrible.
the ratio is terrible. And that's why if you were to make a plane and power it with batteries, it probably wouldn't get off the ground because it'd be that heavy.
Isn't how they're doing it with a solar then? Because wouldn't solar require batteries? Because there's like that massive plane that can fly a full day with just the solar wings.
We did talk about this, didn't we? Yeah. I don't know if how did they get it up into the air? Because that's the bit that requires the most energy. Is to get it off the ground and into the air in the first place. But yeah, I get that once it's up there, then solar you'd be fine. But it's just getting it up there in the first place.
Gee, Louise.
Yeah.
And he's saying that inefficiency is just like mad. I haven't actually.
Yeah, that's why. Well. Talk about inefficiency in cars. I also learned that in your standard engine, petrol, diesel, that is, only 18 to 25% of the energy is converted into movement. The rest is lost, which I think is mad.
Yes. I was actually going to say this. I'm like, it must be taken somewhere Like that's why it's so
So
inefficient.
so you fill up your tank of petrol. From that tank of petrol, only 18 to 25% of that energy is going to be transferred into movement. The rest is going to be lost in things like heat and friction.
Energy.
But then when you look at batteries, though, batteries are really efficient. From battery to wheel, they're really efficient in that sense. But it's just the fact that the batteries are really big.
Right. Okay. So a lot of it's. What does that mean? A lot of it is waste or something? Because if I know. Wait. So why is it so big then? I'm trying to think about why it's that big. Because once you do have the energy, what happens before you get the energy? Why is it so big? Is it because the chemical reaction?
It's just the way that a battery is to store that energy. A battery just can't, at the moment anyway. A battery can't per I don't know what you call it, per centimeter squared. Per centimetre squared of battery and a centimetre squared, say, of petrol, there's a lot more energy in the petrol than there is the battery.
Centimetre squared? Isn't it done by volume? I don't know. But I know what you generally mean.
Well, that cube, sorry, not squared. But yeah, that's what I meant by volume. I just plucked out a measurement, if that makes sense.
I'm just looking at the energy transfer diagram. I think that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
About the thermal energy, then sound, then kinetic, and then that actual energy that you're wanting for this particular thing, which is kinetic for a car, for example, is tiny in comparison to the input energy that you've put in. Yeah. So it's freaking nuts. I'm just like, say what? And are you saying that the battery is one of the worst for that kind of loss of energy?
Yeah.
Well, no. In terms of the scale to output.
I'm saying that the scale. So for the size of the battery, how much energy you can get out of that battery. Yeah, you need a really big battery compared to the size of a tank of petrol to get you the same distance. Is one way of thinking about it.
Fuck. Sorry, I shouldn't be swearing. Well, I guess this is now an explicit episode.
All right, I've already said shit as well. And just to quickly finish now, I will, because I can see we're getting up to the hour mark. I want to quickly talk about how electric cars. So you think that we've got greener over the last few years, but the amount of electric cars on the road in Britain has been cancelled out by the movement of people to driving SUVs, and it's because SUVs are generally the weight of a rhinoceros. And they've got the aerodynamics of a refrigerator.
I bet it's like your Range Rover squad, isn't it? You know, the one that you love so much.
Oh,
you love the Range Rover squad, the Land Rover.
The Chelsea Tractors.
The Chelsea Tractors. Chelsea Tractors, mate. What are you doing with the Chelsea Tractors? Wait, so they're getting Eclipse, are they?
Pardon?
They're getting Eclipse. So what's happened?
So the gains that have been made by people switching to electric hybrids and electric cars at the moment. So there's a few people. There's not many, but some people have switched to electric and hybrid. So you would think, that there must be less carbon emissions and stuff now because people are switching to these more energy efficient vehicles. But no, because on the other side of the equation, a lot of people have switched to SUVs because of genuine things like safety, because they're safe, like families like them, because they're nice and safe, because they're massive bulldozer of a thing, which if you're a pedestrian, you don't stand much chance at all.
Well, unless you're me, who's a bloody tank. I'll take 10 of them. Go on, all of you.
Yeah. The two have in effect cancelled each other out. Auditors say emissions are just down 1% since 2011 because the growth of the SUV market has basically cancelled out the other gains because like I said, they're heavier and less aerodynamic.
But apparently, from 2035, apparently only zero emission cars are going to be sold. So you can only do it for so long.
Yeah, it's 2035, is it?
2035. Yeah, that's for the UK.
They're constantly on bringing that down to 2030 as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be better, especially with there's just so many options available. Well, coming out more and more frequently.
Yeah,
there's less reason to do it. Even with your massive SUVs that everybody loves for some reason, I don't know why. But
it'll be all right once they're electric. Sure, from a decarbonising perspective, it will be okay to drive an SUV, but from a congestion and all the other stuff, you've still got problems.
Why would you still have if they're electric?
Well,
because an SUV,
because an electric traffic jam, because a petrol traffic jam is an electric powered traffic jam is no better than a petrol powered traffic jam. If you've got a traffic jam, and it's full of Teslas, it's still a traffic jam.
It's still a traffic jam. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. And even worse, if everybody's getting SUV traffic jam, it's going to be even bigger. Forget it. Let's just all walk.
Exactly. And then you've got the whole question about where do you park them all because they're all bigger.
But you just get an uni, mate. Get a bike. Get an uni. Put it in there. Live in large. By the way, Uni can sponsor us. You remember that from our last episode, mate? Where were you?
Uni? What?
Those roadside bike sheds. You know what I mean?
In New York, is that what they were called? I forgot.
Yeah, Unis, mate.
Or if you throw it back to a few episodes ago, the bikelets thing where you bikelets.
What are the bikelets
in the Netherlands?
What are the Unis? What are the bikelets?
In the Netherlands, where you could, it's the Netflix of bikes, and you can get a subscription service to have a bike, and then they'll repair it and everything for you.
Right, so Uni, and what was it called? What was the other one called?
Bikelets.
Bikelet. Olly would like a sponsor because he's always asking for that all the time. Can you sponsor us, please? And I'm like, Olly, we've only got two listeners.
Please.
One's you and one's me. So we can't ask him. But by the off chance, Uni and Bikelets,
these geese listening this week.
Get on the phone. You what?
Yeah. all 30 of them there. And this guy.
That's what. What? Just living at large.
That's why I brought them along. We're like, come along, we'll have great fun.
That's actually you on that bike, though. That's the funniest part. That's actually you. You've got a tan, but we don't look at that.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a tan. All right, I think we can stamp it. We can stamp it, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Yeah. Check us out on Instagram if you're not already, and look for us on YouTube because that's where our faces are. And if you do want to sponsor us, then drop a line and we'll get back to you.
Oh, you probably won't though.
Peace out and see you on the next one.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh, God.